Yo, hey, Johnson, make sure you turn your thing sideways.
Baby J, turn your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you, Dex.
All right, cool.
This way?
Yeah, because you're supposed to be the wide way. Landscape. Your portrait. There you go.
All right, y'all. We live, right? Yeah, all right.
I don't think we're live on Facebook.
Okay.
Al.
Gotcha.
Sam should be on here telling us or giving us direction to tell us when to go, but
all right. Welcome everybody. Welcome tonight. We are live actually. Thank y'all for So thank y'all for joining us tonight for our Wednesday night encounter nights, CRAVE edition. CRAVE Youth edition. My name is Pastor Al, and they let us have the floor tonight, y'all. So we're gonna do what we do. My wife is not with us right now. She's actually trying to wrangle up the little ones. The 7-month-old is not cooperating, so it's just me, and then the 4-year-old out there doing what he doing. So she sends her love. But before we get started into our discussion and what we're gonna get into tonight, I want to introduce some of our leaders, and then we got some very special guests on the call with us tonight. 2 of our senior leaders who we'll be talking to tonight. So first we have my sister Brina. Brina, go and give the people a wave.
Good evening, good people.
We got Taisha with us.
Going on, everybody.
And then we have these important people. I have my man Dexter. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Dex.
What's up, man? My name is Dexter Lewis Segal IV. I am graduating from Taft High School this year. And that's about it. Yeah.
So Dexter is one of our model students. Some of the other younger boys kind of look up to him, and they want to kind of be like him. He's a good athlete, a good student, just an all around good guy. So kind of remind me of myself when I was his age, when I had hair. And then we have my dear sister Jocelyn. Go and introduce yourself, Jocelyn.
I'm Jocelyn Oriana Winfrey. I graduated from Whiting West High School this year. And that's about it.
So Jocelyn is another one of our great role model students. Somebody who just always doing whatever we ask her to do, and volunteering, and she even expressed wanting to be a youth leader at one point in time. So we'll see how they go. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all coming on with us. And so before we get started, I just want to start with this one scripture real quick. I want to open up with the scripture that I was looking at today, and it's Hebrews chapter 13 verses 8 in the Amplified. It says, Jesus Christ is eternally changeless, always the same yesterday, today, and forever. So in this whole thing, Jesus is the only constant and everything that we're going through right now. This whole pandemic, everything that's happening right now, he is the only thing that is remaining constant. Because if you look at what's happening right now, we never imagined, especially speaking for Jocelyn and Dexter, we never imagined being at a place now to where we have your senior year without a senior prom, your senior year without a senior graduation, or even senior ditch day and stuff like that, or even just something as small as like having your classmates, get to school one more time and sign your yearbook and stuff like that. So sometimes my wife and I, we look at our yearbook back when we graduated in 2007, and it kind of brings back memories, but we never imagined that we will be at this place right now. And it's if you're trying to find one thing that's that you can hold on to this is that no matter what's been altered in all of this, God isn't. You know, he's the only constant thing in this.
Right.
So, you know, he isn't bound by some stay-at-home order or something like that. You know, he is God. He is who he is. So,
Right.
no matter what, you know, he's still in the healing business. He's still healing people. You know, he's still giving people peace, even in the midst of all this bad news and everything like that. You know, he is still constant. So, you know, as a matter of fact, he's still in your home. You know, speaking of stay-at-home order, he's in your home. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some discussions real quick. So we're gonna put y'all on the hot seat real quick. Don't be nervous. And then also our leaders, they're gonna weigh in a little bit and you know, answer some of these questions as well, because I want to hear from some of y'all too. So that's why I had y'all on here. So first, and then also too, before we get started, if you're watching live or whatever, and you got any questions, comments, or anything, go ahead and submit them. We got somebody monitoring those, and then we'll get to those if we can. So the first question or thing I want to talk about is during this whole thing, have you discovered anything new about yourself? You know, this whole situation that's going on right now. Have you discovered anything new about yourself? And you know, if so, what is it?
Do you want to go first, Jocelyn, or no?
It don't matter.
All right, I'll take it. So,
Go ahead,
what I've discovered about this thing is that I am very patient, and I could take time and, you know, actually like relax myself, and because this whole pandemic and all, and not knowing if I was going to go to school or get a prom. So I was just staying patient and just doing my work, doing what I had to do. And I found that out about myself.
That's good stuff. What about you, Jocelyn?
I think the number one thing that I found out about myself is that I used to, when the world was open, I used to try to overwork myself. Yeah. No matter what, doing out the week, on the weekends, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, and I'm just back and forth from never at home. And staying at home, I found out that I'm actually comfortable in my house. Like, I like staying at home. Like, it's nice to get out sometimes, but I like staying at home.
Homebody.
Yeah.
That's what's up though. Yeah, but for me though, it's honestly the opposite what Dexter said. You know, I found out that I'm not cut out to be a stay-at-home pops. You know, my patience is about this thin. So, but in that, I've also found a newfound respect for the teachers who deal with our kids and stuff. So, I got a 4-year-old, and you know, he tries it every once in a while, and just being home a lot with him, it just shows me how little patience I have. I think that's God's way of humoring me, giving me kids and testing my patience. So, there. Yeah, what about you, Brina or Taisha?
I think for me, I guess it's new. I have stepped into this new role as being a grandmother. I call myself Gigi. And so with the whole pandemic, it has allowed me to spend more time with him because his mom does security, so she's an essential worker. Gotcha. So I am relearning like all these things to what you probably already experienced, Al, because when I had a child back almost 30 years ago, all of this new technology and things like that, none of that was happening. So now I am learning again how to be more hands-on in this whole 21st century with helping to raise children.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would say for me, like, just this whole quarantine and stay at home made me discover that there's more in me than just going to work every single day. So I recently discovered that I have a passion for cooking, so I've been thrown down in the kitchen every single day. I've been reading books. I'm learning a new language. I'm learning Mandarin, Chinese, and Spanish. So there's just a lot within me that I had no idea that was there.
That's good. That's good. And for those who don't know, Taisha's a vegan.
Yeah, so, I know. Al, I know that she didn't develop the new skill from watching her on social media. I want to go and get a plate.
she got my wife telling me we need to go get some vegan ingredients and go vegan. Vegan ingredients in one day. Probably not gonna happen in one day though. So, so keeping it moving. So the next thing I want to ask y'all is we talk about the stay-at-home order. how has your view of family changed during this time of being stuck at home with them?
Ooh, that is a great one.
He said that's a great because Dexter got a little sister, so
Yeah, I got a little sister. She's something else. Let's just say that. So my family, we've been bonding and connecting. Y'all see that. Y'all know that on social media and all that. We work together as one to do anything, get any job done. So, I mean, during this pandemic, it has only brought us closer together, and knowing that we need each other through this pandemic and we got to stay strong together. That's just what brings us together. So.
That's good stuff, man.
For me, I would say people used to always tell me that you should know the people in your house more than anybody else. And when the world was open, like I said before, I was like almost never home. And when I was home, it was only at night and everybody was dead. So being during this pandemic, I found out that my mom's favorite color is like not what I thought her favorite color was. Just like a whole bunch of stuff that I never knew. We spend a lot of family time together. Jordan loves to play with me. Like there's so much that I've learned now that I'm actually in the house and that I have nowhere else to go. I've learned so much more about the people that I'm actually here with.
That's good. What about you, one of y'all, Brina?
I would say at first I didn't know what to expect because me and Floyd are never home for long periods of time. He's working, I was working at school, I'm gone at 6 o'clock in the morning and that kind of thing. So, but to my surprise, we have actually had a good time. Stacey's a homebody and I'm not. I am an extrovert and I'm not okay. But,
we praying for you.
Thank you. But we've been bonding, and I think Yasir, which is our grandson, he helps. So to see us grow into these different roles, having different perspectives now that we're older. And so we've been hanging out a little bit more, talking a little bit more, kicking it a little bit more in the house. And then my extended family, one of them lives in the building with me. So I pretty much see her all the time. So we just did a little painting party the other day. So I think, we've been more purposeful in our communication of just about life and sharing more things other than just how was work. So this has pushed us to be more intimate with our conversations and how we communicate with one another. So that's been good.
What's up, Ty?
And then I would say for me, like this whole ordeal made me appreciate my family so much more, and not just my husband and my daughter Desiree, but my mom and my sisters. So during the time I've been reaching out to them, been communicating with them a lot more, and just getting to know them on a personal level. I mean, given I knew them, but I didn't really know them the way I know them right now.
Yeah. That's good. And it's funny you brought that up too, because I think that's one of the things that I realized is how much like I miss my family. Like most of my family lives like 3 hours away. And I'm be honest, I think I maybe FaceTime my sister once before this. But ever since this happened, I'll probably FaceTime my sister at least once or twice a week. And it's just like that's just something that just happens, normally now, and it's like you said, I didn't realize how much I miss my family, just not seeing them, even though they're 3 hours away. It's just the fact that we're not supposed to go nowhere that I want to go now.
Right. I think that's what it is, because they say you can't go, you want to go. Because like our family reunion was canceled. So we've scheduled I've scheduled for our family like first cousin Zoom calls. So trying to find some way to connect. So it's been cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like teenagers. You tell them they can't do something, so they go and do it.
Yeah.
So. So nobody tired of their mama yet?
Nah.
I don't know. Jocelyn plead the fifth, baby J. Plead the fifth, Jocelyn.
Watching. I know they watching. Blink twice for yes.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So Josh, how old are you? Again? You're 18, right?
Yep.
You just turned 18, and Dex, you're 17, right?
Yeah, I'm 17.
Okay, yeah, because wow. So let me ask y'all this, because you guys are getting ready to graduate from. Well, you guys have already graduated from high school and stuff. how do you guys feel about stepping into, I'm gonna put air quotes, adulthood?
Stepping in. Go ahead.
Honestly, for me, I would say that I'm nervous. Because after 18 years of being with the only people that I've known growing up, heart to heart, and then in August I have to leave, and it's like I know that it's going to be a huge game changer for me. Like, it's not going to be the same at all. I don't have my mom to come for me. I have to like learn some of these things on my own. So I'm a little iffy about moving forward, just because it's going to be a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Dex?
I kind of like coming into high school, I was scared of adulthood. I'm not going to hold you. I was scared of adulthood, but you know, being like with my family and all that, and having them help me, guide me into the right direction that I needed to be in. I feel like this whole family thing, I like the challenge of it, and I like to like attack it like head on, straight first. You know, going to college, being on my own, I'm gonna like get the job done, and you know, it's gonna be very, very good for me.
Yeah. So, because both of you are stepping into adulthood, I kind of just want to encourage you all to both, just, if I can give you a piece of advice, just to remain teachable.
Right.
Because even me, like, you know, I'm 31 and I'm always looking to learn something, and you know, I'm always open to, you know, take on wisdom. You know, I guess I'm 31 and I still listen to what my mom has to say, what my dad has to say, and you know, and even in that, it's like what they have to say still holds a lot of weight in my life. You know, it's very important. You know, when my mom speaks, my dad speaks, you know, I consider it heavily. And so just remain teachable, because I know sometimes we feel like we get to a place in life. I mean, it's usually sometimes around, you know, 18, graduate from high school, where we figure like we think that we kind of got it all figured out, or we kind of know it all, or we know a lot, or we're willing to figure it out on our own. And you know, we're not open to take wisdom or instruction, and just be careful that sometimes you can miss wisdom because you mistook it for criticism. You know, somebody might be trying to give you something, and you're just like, well, you know, well, my mom, and it's just like, you know, your parents giving you wisdom or telling you something to do, and you take it for like criticism, because it's like, man, they always down my back. So it's just like being open always to learn something, and you know, grow. You know, then you know, that make you a well-rounded human being, a well-rounded adult. Something right now. So, but yeah, if I had to give you guys some advice, just remain teachable. So,
thank you.
And then, you know, be okay with. I mean, I won't say be okay with, but you're going to make mistakes. You know, there's some stuff that I had to figure out on my own. You know, as becoming an adult, you know, I had to learn how to pay bills. I actually got evicted one time in college, so that's one of the things. That's an experience that I went through that taught me a lot about myself. Me and my college roommate, you know, we didn't. Well, I paid up my part of the rent. He didn't pay up his part of the rent, and we ended up getting evicted. So that's actually one of the things that kind of scared me or pushed me into like, you know, make sure I handle my money right and stuff like that. But being responsible, because you know, ever since I turned 18, actually, when I graduated high school, from 18 until now, I've never lived with. I've basically been on my own from going to college, because I had an apartment in college, and then I would when I come home for the summers, I would sleep on my sister's couch, and you know, but I still had my apartment back in school or whatever, so I would go back to school. But you know, it just taught me a lot about being on my own. So when you guys do go off to college and stuff like that, you know, just take it all in. You know, be okay with making a mistake. You know, you're gonna make them. You know, just know that not every decision that you make might not go over well with your parents too. So just be mindful of that stuff. So,
and I think I would say stay true to you. You know, I think as we if I were to think about like when I was graduating from high school and coming into adulthood, I think I struggled with when I got around other people who didn't have the same vision or view or goals or morals as I had. Sometimes I found myself wanting to be accepted or wanting to fit in, or not even knowing if people would accept me for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so without even putting it out there, I just adapted to what they were doing. So I would say stay true to yourself, that you don't lose who you are as you are growing into and going into a new space, probably way wider than you've ever been in, because these universities are with people from everywhere, all across the world, with different visions and goals and morals and things like that. So I would say make sure you stay true to who you are, because you never know who you could impact with who you are versus who you could not, by trying to fall back or pull away from who you are. So at the core of everything, I would say stay true to yourself.
Yeah, no, that's good. And even just to kind of piggyback off of that, and because I always tell you guys to change your definition of fun, because you guys both are looking to go to college. I know Dexter, you have a football scholarship, and Jocelyn, you're looking to go to college too in the fall. And when you guys step on campus, there are going to be so many outside influences that are going to try to persuade you and make you think that, hey, this is what fun looks like. You're not having fun unless you're doing X, Y, and Z. And so I always challenge you guys to change your definition of what fun looks like, because fun, and a lot of times, is defined by what the world sees it as. So if you change your definition, you will, because if you, what the world defines fun as, we as Christians normally don't partake in. So you will always find yourself in that space of FOMO, fear of missing out. Like you're missing out on something because they're having fun and I'm not doing it because I'm Christian. So if you change the, your definition of what fun actually is, then you won't walk around feeling like you're missing something and then find yourself in a situation to where you've been influenced by somebody to do something that's out of your character.
Now, Al, you said something that's good. Elder Dominic was teaching one day, and he talked about defining words, because like you said, what's fun to you may not be fun to somebody else. So what is your definition? How do you view fun? How do you view having a good time? I think that's real key. And he was talking about that from that perspective of helping or training or working with children and things, of trying to determine what the word means to them, because it can mean like you just said, Al, to the world it means drinking, hanging out, partying. Well, to us, fun means getting with our people, maybe playing some cards, maybe laughing,
playing spades,
doing some prank phone calls, those kind of things. And so when you look at it, like you were saying, define it for you. And that's what came back to mind after, Elder Dominic was talking about that, like what define or make your own, stay true to your definition of what something is for you. So that was good, Al.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing I wanted to ask you guys was, during this whole time of being quarantined or the stay-at-home order, like how do you feel like your relationship or your faith in God has been affected, if any?
I'll take it first. Being busy with being an athlete, football, basketball, seasons back to back. It's been times where like I've been too busy and I haven't given my all to him. And so now that this quarantine has came, I've been in the Word more and more, and getting closer to him and following what I have to do in his faith.
That's good.
I think, to me, I feel like when the world was open, I would more so look towards God when it was a Sunday or when it was a Wednesday or when something had to do with me going to church. But ever since everything happened, I read the Bible when I wake up. I read the Bible when I go to sleep. I read the Bible when I have free time. I feel like I've grown more closer because I have more time. And like Dexter said, when you're an athlete, it takes up a lot of your time. And I know that Dexter can agree. Like when we were in school, for us, it was like school, church, athlete, repeat.
Yep.
And that took up all our days every single day.
Yeah. And it's tiring. You get exhausted, right?
Yeah.
So, because I can remember when I was, I got saved my senior year in college. I'm playing Division I basketball, and so we got this super busy schedule. We got practices, weightlifting, film, all this extra stuff. We got study hall, and I was a new convert, so I just got saved. So I still had that zeal of first getting saved. So I wanted to know everything it was about the Bible and about God. But after a while, once you get home from practice or whatever, you're tired and you don't feel like doing something. It's like it's easy to not spend time with God, not build that relationship with him. And I'll tell you quite honestly, man, as much as I enjoyed playing basketball in college, I actually could not wait till that chapter of my life was closed, because I knew how much time and how much energy it was taken away from me and my relationship with God. I'm just glad that it happened. Honestly, I'm just glad it happened that late in my collegiate career, because had it happened in the beginning, who knows if I would, finish my 4 years of playing basketball. But I was just that. I was, especially being saved that, brand new. It was like I was just so eager to know more about him that I was like, man, I can't wait till basketball is over with. I got 6-7 months left of playing college basketball, and after that, it's like my whole life, all my time. I can get home from school, I can get home from practice or whatever, or get home from whatever, and I can just read my Bible or go have Bible study with a friend. So I understand completely what you're talking about, where it's just like your whole life is just consumed with so much that you feel like you only got a little bit of time left for them. But it's like right now, it's like, hey, I got time, man. I got time, man. So, and it's crazy because, I kind of use this analogy of like, right now you get a chance to date God again, because I know you guys are teenagers and you guys might be dating, might have a little boyfriend or girlfriend, but it's like, you ever been on a date with somebody and then they bring a friend along and now they're the third wheel? It's like, when the world, as Jocelyn say, when the world was open, when the world was open, it's you that third. I mean, all your focus was on everything else except for God, really.
Right.
You had all this other outside influences and stuff, and then it's like so God became the third wheel. Because all this other stuff was kind of this is what your attention and your focus was on.
Yeah.
But it's just like God's like, I'm tired of being a third wheel. I want you to spend some time with me or whatever. Yeah. So when when am I gonna get a date? So I feel like that now this time is like prime time for you to actually get closer to him, especially for y'all too. I think this is, it's not a coincidence that right before you guys are getting ready to go to college that this happened, to where you can just sit down and spend time with him before you get on campuses. So what about y'all, Brina and Ty? How do y'all think it affects your faith or your relationship?
I think it did in a more positive way. I think everything for me with the pandemic, as an intercessor, has pushed me to want to pray more.
Gotcha.
When you look around and see, Stacey and I were talking one day, and it's so many things that the pandemic has affected that we didn't even really think about. And when you start to think about those things, it kind of sort of puts things more in perspective. And so I would definitely say it has definitely pushed me to pray more as I see what's happening in the world. For people to bury their loved ones and not be able to go and see them or support them, to the actors and the actresses, to the people producing films and movies, like all these things are shot and put on hold. We see certain things from a different perspective, like the NFL, for sports to be shut down. Those are $1 trillion businesses, to see the airlines and this is different from the regular recession that, was taking place. It's not that companies weren't hiring and people wasn't working. And it's just like, it's a global pandemic. It's not like, so now everybody everywhere is feeling the effects of all of these things. And then dealing, our educational system is shut down. So I think when you start to think of the larger scope of the global pandemic and what it's having, it pushes you to pray more for things that that, I hadn't even became aware of because it didn't affect me,
Right.
or it didn't come to my door. So I would definitely say it has definitely pushed me to pray more, and make sure I'm interceding in a way that touches this in a global way instead of just thinking so small on one perspective. So I would definitely say the pandemic has really opened my eyes to more so things from a global perspective and how everybody's impacted by this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. What about you, Ty?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, okay, you now.
All right, I apologize about that. What was the question again?
How do you feel like, your relationship or your faith in God has been affected, if any, during this time?
I feel like if anything, it has strengthened my faith in God. Gonna be honest, at first, when this whole pandemic started, I got laid off from my job. So I was kind of worried about what my future was gonna be like, how I was gonna be at home. All these thoughts just kept going through my head, but he's always made a way for me. So right now I'm financially set. Me and my husband, we're good on our bills. So that's something that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, that's good. And I think for me, it's just kind of made me kind of like similar to what you guys said. It kind of, in a positive way, kind of pushed me closer to him, especially now since we don't have the actual building to go to and be in fellowship with the people, rubbing shoulders and stuff. It's like prime example, I bought me a new Bible today, well, other day. It should be here tomorrow. And, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this new Bible just so I think this is like my third Bible that I bought since 2010, and had this pandemic not happened, I don't think I would have bought a new Bible. But it's happened. It's just like, you know what? I think I want a new Bible. So it's just like I feel like this new there's been a refreshing for me of wanting to spend time with him, and because I'm getting tired of looking at the Bible app on my phone too. So I was like, well, I need some pages. But yeah, I think it kind of pushed me closer to him. Like you said, not leaning on that the church of being there all the time and kind of doing the work for you as it relates to ushering in the spirit through music, and you got the pastors preaching the word. Because I'm not gonna lie, watching it from home is a lot different than watching it. There's no distance in the spirit, but still there's a difference in because. Now I'm at home because at church you can send them downstairs to Life Kids and they taken care of. But now at home it's like, well, my 7-month-old is hungry. You want to cry right now, or he just made a mess, and it's like you got to do all this stuff and navigate through all this stuff while church is happening. So it's like your attention is divided. So it's a different atmosphere at home. So I think because of that, it's caused me to say, man, I'm missing something. Like I need more. So it's pushing me, closer to him. So
I can agree with that, Al. I think it started maybe for me like a month ago. I started pushing myself to get up out the bed or from away from the table, because I normally would watch it on my computer on my phone. So now I watch it through YouTube, and I am actively standing up in the midst of it and lifting my hands to worship, because you're correct. There's no distance in the spirit, but God is not going to force his way in. We have to be in the place where we are receptive to the spirit of the living God. And so I think that helps me, because like you said, otherwise we're so distracted by other things that we could be doing or should be doing. So if your phone rings, you pick it up. So that's why I move away from my phone, so I'm not distracted doing worship or the word. And so I make sure I'm standing in front of the TV, participating actively in worship. And then afterwards, now I'm sitting to hear the word, because you're right. Otherwise, I would be watching TV and fall asleep, or let me run downstairs and get the laundry and I come back upstairs. So it's not the full experience. So I think that's the part where we have to discipline ourselves, to actively participate in the word of God with our community, even though it's virtual.
Yeah. And it's funny you said that too, because like even trying to do all these things, and because like we've got to the point to where we'll put the church on TV in the living room, and we'll have Trey, our 4-year-old, come in there, and we are standing up, and then somehow, some way, things change. We sitting down now, or somebody in the kitchen doing this, somebody's doing that. shoot,
Right.
I'll be honest. I'm telling myself, last Sunday, I was like in and out the patio door, putting hot dogs and brats on the grill while I'm watching church. So it's like, I feel like it's like because it's there, I'm gonna do it. But that's one thing that I feel like because that was missing, I was like, well, I got to do something else. I got to do something more. So I think that's what kind of thrust me closer to him and want to get a new Bible per se. So,
Right.
Yep. So both y'all tell me, because I know the school year is over with. Jocelyn, you graduated already, right?
Yep.
And Dexter, you did too, right?
No, I still have 2 weeks left.
Oh, that's right. Because CPS is a little, they go a little longer. So yeah. Because I know both of y'all got parades and stuff coming up. But so let me ask, because I know Jocelyn, you're done. But Dex, how has e-learning been going for y'all? Because this is something that that's new to everybody almost.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
especially high school students.
Yeah, the beginning of it, like teachers would try and set up Google Hangouts and stuff like that, trying to get us to like video call like how we're doing now and see our faces and go through lessons and stuff like that. And it was a little shaky at first. I had to keep asking the teacher for help over and over because this is new, like product. Right. I've never done this before. So, but once I got the help that I needed, it's been smooth ever since. So.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Jocelyn?
When I had it, it was hard at first, because it was so different and like we didn't know how to help each other. Everybody had a school computer and we would have to hook our school computer up to our internet. But sometimes the internet would crash, or sometimes like emails wouldn't go through, or sometimes our text wouldn't. Like we were having problems, and at first we didn't know how to fix it. So we were all just sitting there like, I don't really know how to help it. And when I was in school, I was able to go to my technical people for my laptop and they would be able to help me fix it. But now that I don't have none of that, I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And then after that, once we figured everything out, we found out a whole new way to send everything. We had to download new apps.
Gotcha.
And then after that, everything else is okay.
Gotcha. So it was a headache at the beginning then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, basically.
So were you like? Well, I know y'all ain't do it, but so was it easy to cheat on there? Can you cheat on e-learning?
I mean, you could, but I never.
I mean, for me, like they decided not to give us tests because they knew students were going to cheat. So like we didn't even take our finals because they were like, there's just no point.
Dang. I kind of
and my school,
Brandon, you was
right. So for me, we still had finals and tests, but you didn't have the time restriction.
Right.
So I went from having an hour and 30 minutes for an exam in accounting to having pretty much a week in accounting. And then you had help because shout out to Terez. She might not be on here with Terez. Thank you. You can phone a friend, to ask some help.
I was here when you called.
So I'm not an online person. That's the reason why I always prefer to take classes on campus. But accounting was definitely not a course that you want to take online. And so so Terez was very helpful. But the internet was available. Nobody to watch you. So I felt like it was more so on me. I could use the internet to cheat, but I'm only cheating me. Because when I get out when the course is done, yes, I will pass with a passing grade. But what did I learn? What can I take now? So as I need this information now to go back into the workforce, it's like I didn't get anything.
Right.
So so e-learning is not the wheel for me. I know it works for other people, but I prefer to be.
Right. So there is some distance in the spirit right there then.
Yeah.
Some distance. Okay. So let me ask Jocelyn and Dexter, with y'all, everything that's happened y'all during y'all senior year, because I even know, sports have been cut short. Because I know guys, people who play baseball or track, spring track or whatever.
Yeah, track got
seasons have been canceled completely and stuff. And it's unfortunate. How do y'all feel like missing out on all these milestones and memories, like a prom or graduation or missing a sports season and just even a last time to say bye to all your friends and teachers, some of your favorite teachers. How do you guys feel like this has affected you? In what ways?
Man, like you said, the track season, we were supposed to be one of the top track teams 4x1 for state, and we were going to qualify this year, but during this pandemic and stuff, it took it away from us. So, I mean, like, and teachers and friends, not being able to see your friends for the last time in school, didn't know that it was the last day that you were going to ever talk to them in school again. Yeah. And seeing your favorite teachers, I was really heartbroken.
Really? Wow. I can only imagine, man. I couldn't imagine, but yeah.
And especially prom and graduation, that's a big milestone in everybody's life. Yeah. So.
Because if y'all who don't know, Dexter was homecoming king.
Yeah.
He said he basically said I would have been prom king too.
Yeah, I would have been prom king too. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
wow.
But they took it away from me. So,
Wow. What about you, Jocelyn?
For me, at first, when everything first happened, I was okay. I really had high hopes that maybe something would change, something would give in, they would do something in spite of it. And then once I realized that it wasn't going to change no time soon, I had my own little mental breakdown. And around my room, I have my senior basketball poster. I have awards posted up. And when I was looking around my room, I'm like, that was the last time me been to school.
That'll probably do it.
Without, and then
I almost said it too.
My friends would post their track season, they didn't get to finish their track season, so on and so forth. It was just a whole bunch. And right now, my school is still trying to do stuff in spite of it. So they said that for us, when they have prom next year, we can go back and go to that prom. They're still trying to do something for our graduation. We might do it on the football field. They're still trying to actually plan something. So I'm not really sure how that's going to turn out as far as that. But when everything happened, I was like,
wow.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So even in that, so what are you guys most looking forward to next? This next chapter. Now that Jocelyn, the school year's over with, you've already graduated technically. Dex, you got 2 weeks left. What are you guys looking forward to next most, and why?
That's a great one. I'm really looking forward to just maturing and becoming an adult, like we said earlier. And also it's a new environment and just a new level of athletic competition.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be dudes that's 20, 21 years old coming
Grown
after
man.
17, 18 years old. So I'm getting ready for that as well, but I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. That'll be cool, man. That'll be cool. Yeah, I remember my days when I was getting ready to go to college and getting ready to go to the next level, and it's just nervous and excited at the same time because man, I'm a skinny little kid coming in out of high school, and these cats are bigger than I am. They've been here longer than I have, and a little bit more experience, and it's just catching up. And then once you get there, man, you gain confidence, and whether it's through schoolwork or on the field or whatever, you just continue to push yourself, man. And
and it's going through a cycle because coming from high school,
you was a man.
I was the man. Everybody knew me. And now I'm going to become a freshman again, and now there's people
back to the bottom.
Right, I'm back down. I gotta find myself up the food chain, but it's gonna be a great experience. I'm waiting. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be some of the best days of your life, man. And you'll make some friends because I have friends now that we in a group chat. We actually text this morning. We text every day, but I met them in college. I played basketball with them, and all of our wives are actually in a group chat together. So it's when you I always tell people a lot of times college is a place where people find friends that they'll have for the rest of their lives. We were all at each other's weddings, and we consider each other brothers now. So we go on couples trips with our wives and stuff now. So it's one of them things where it's like you look back on like, man, that was some of the greatest times of my life. So even outside of just sports, it's just like making memories, man. So
hey, Al, we have a question on here. Somebody wants to know what colleges are they attending?
Oh, okay, yeah. Y'all want to answer those?
Well, I'm gonna be attending Minnesota State University, Mankato.
How you get there though? How you get there?
How did I get there? Okay, so
no I mean like
what'd you say?
And what method did you get there though?
Okay, so I actually the coach from like the recruiting coach from the Illinois area, he had contacted me first. And he was like, "Oh, we love your tape, you know, and we love the way you work, and we think that you'll be the next push for us to win the national championship because the school that I'm going to, they will always make the national championship but lose. Wow. So they think that I'm going to be that perfect piece, that perfect little slide right there, and I'll slide in and become the man."
So what you're saying is you're going to go to the league then?
Yeah, basically.
That's good stuff.
No,
man.
Yeah, basically.
That's good stuff.
Jocelyn?
As far as me, my first 2 years, I'll be attending Benedictine University. And in my last 2 years, I'll be attending ISU.
That's what's up. Well, so let me ask y'all this, since somebody asked that question. What do y'all plan on, or do y'all have undecided what y'all want to major in?
I want to major in pre-vet.
Oh, veterinarian.
Yeah, I'm a love of animals. So
you like, hey, hold on. So you like snakes?
Yeah.
Man, I can't do snakes, man. They ain't got legs.
I grew that when I was little, just watching Animal Planet and stuff like that. So
that's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Jocelyn?
I want to become a lawyer, so I'm gonna be studying criminal justice.
Okay. She can talk too, y'all. So. And she'll argue you up and down too if she feel like she right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. What was I gonna ask next? I got two more questions actually. This second to last one is, what, if anything, do you feel like God has showed you throughout this whole thing?
Well, for me is stay humble and remember where you've come from. Me and my mom, we were just having this conversation like a week ago, and it was the Barack Obama little graduation thing, and my mom was telling me about like if I actually pursue in the veterinarian business that I should open up companies in my neighborhood. But where I live in, I was thinking of it as like nobody over here would want to actually do that stuff. So, but it really like brought a toll to my memory, and I had really thought about it for a second, and I'm actually thinking about doing that once I get into that career choice. So, yeah, just remembering where I'm from and always keeping my city on my back. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good stuff. Yeah. What about you, Jocelyn? Like, what if this whole thing taught you during this pandemic? What do you feel like God is showing you or taught you?
I feel like God is saying that things are always going to change around you. Things may not always be as pictured as you thought it would be.
Right.
Things will never go as you plan at all. Like something will always change. It won't go as you picture it, but you have to make the best out of what you have.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, it's almost like the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So that's good. What about you, Brina or Ty? What has God shown you throughout this whole thing?
I think it's what I shared during one of the devotions. Everybody wants to know what's next or what's new. It's what always has been. I think throughout this pandemic, God has showed me, like everybody's looking for the new normal or what is going to be after this. And God is saying, no, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. So what's next is what has always been. And so I think for me, that's what has really been ringing true, that God doesn't change. And so while everything else is happening in the world and people are trying to figure out how do we do this or what do we do next? No, next is what has always been. It's what God has always said. And so I think that's been what's been a driving force for me, reminding me that God's word doesn't change. It doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or what happens. God is constant. His word is still true, and what he said will come to pass. So what's new is what's next is what has always been.
That's good.
Man, Brandon, you took
Come
the words
on.
out of my mouth. That's exactly what God has been showing, has revealed to me. So
Well,
we here.
he showed all of us the same thing then.
Glory to God. Bless him. See, he's an intelligent God.
That's good stuff. Hey, so Ty, you just gonna say ditto?
Yeah, she took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like, that's exactly what I had, man. Just kind of what I expressed before is just like he's the only thing that is constant. He's the only thing that's not gonna change. Like I said, he's not bound to some stay-at-home order. He's still gonna do what he do because he is God. And I think that's one of the things that he's shown me. It's like, man, no matter what, I'm still gonna do me. I'm gonna give the same energy today, tomorrow, and forevermore. So, so listen. So I got one last thing, but before we get to that, I want to remind people: don't forget to give. Here at Lifeline, we have 5 ways to give. We give because we love God and we trust God with our money. So I was make sure I want to get that in there. That don't forget to give your Wednesday night tithes and offerings. So, but as we get ready to close out, leaders, what kind of advice or what kind of encouragement would you give? Not even just Jocelyn and Dexter, but just our young people, period, going forward.
I would just say that as you're continuing to pursue your education, don't take your academics for granted, because a lot of times we go to college. Well, at least for me, I can speak for myself. Went to college and just lost focus. Started partying, hanging out with the wrong crowd. And when you're in college, you're exposed to so much that it's just easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
So much so that you fall behind in your studies, you start missing class, and then you look up and your whole freshman and sophomore year has passed, you done failed, and you owe $20,000 in student loans. So definitely when you guys go to college, pretty much put your academics on the forefront. Put that above your friends, put that above partying, put that above all the opportunities that you'll be exposed to, because that's the most important. That's what you're going there for.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And you know what? Let me say something before we get in there, Brenda. Because me and Terez, we have this talk, and we have it with with y'all all the time, our seniors especially and juniors, about how you're gonna have to start taking responsibility for your life now. Because when you get to campus and stuff, you don't have your mom or whatever as an alarm clock coming up the stairs, waking you up. And it's like you don't have them there to say, hey, do I go out to this party tonight knowing that I got a test or I got to be up early in the morning, or I want to sit and play Xbox all night and then be late for class? Because at the end of the day, professors, they don't care if you come to class or not. They're still gonna get paid whether or not you come and whether or not you sit at the house or your dorm or sleep in. It's like you have to start taking responsibility of your life and start making adult decisions. And if that means, hey, sacrificing and hanging out with friends tonight so I can make sure I'm ready for tomorrow for a test or even practice or something like that, you got to do what you got to do. So, but yeah, go ahead, Brenda.
For me, I would say to all of them what the word says. The word says to train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they grow older, they won't depart from it. So from your parents to us as youth leaders, we have been training you up in the way to go, not just in our teaching, but even in our actions. We have all been very vulnerable and very transparent with you guys as we have worked with you. Baby J and Dexter, y'all know I have my own personal relationship with y'all, and I've had good conversations with you all. So I would just say, while you are maneuvering through life and figuring things out and growing into adulthood, CRAVE did a skit on it. Don't put God in a box. As you're trying to figure things out and have fun and, grow into your own person, your own identity. Don't put God in a box. Keep him present, even in the midst of your sin. We all sin. The word says all sin and fall short of the glory of God. So God is there. He's our very present help in the time of trouble. So don't put God in a box. So as you're maneuvering through life and you're trying to figure out what that looks like and how to, grow into adulthood and make choices and everything, draw back and remember the word of the Lord that was planted in your life, and don't put him in a box. Allow him into your situation, into your circumstances, because he can only make things better. He's always provided a way of escape. So I just say, as you grow, I'm not trying to limit you to say don't have fun or
Right.
don't do things, but what I'm saying is do them with God. Don't put him in a box. Don't dismiss him. Don't try to make it seem as if you didn't grow up with the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, who is this God guy?
Right.
Don't put him in a box. Carry him with you, that he can help you and guide you as you grow into adulthood, that you don't have to wait until now, years later, to try to rebound back to where, you fell off, because God doesn't change. His plans for you will prevail. The word says there are plans in a man's heart, but only the plans of the Lord will prevail. So I say to not just to you two, but to all of our young people who are growing up, who are struggling with in this world, accepting the Lord Jesus and being proud of that, or how the world tries to dumb it down or dismiss it. Don't put God in a box. Carry him with you. You don't have to shout it from the rooftop, but people should see something different about you with God. And don't put him in a box, because at the right time, those people who are shunning him are going to need him. And if they know you have him, they'll come to you for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. She said don't act brand new with God when you get to college. So
it's because that's a real thing. It's easy to do. College is full of, I didn't go to college as a young adult out of high school. Many of you know I lost my mom, so I was 18, but didn't have a mom, and I had a child at the time. So, but even in my own way, I was trying to find my way, but God wasn't cool. He wasn't popular, and so I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be popular, and I wanted to be accepted. And I thought that me expressing my relationship with God, or the fact that I went to church and things like that, makes me uncool. And, I put God in this box, and then life happens. And then it's just like, after a while, he's no longer in the box. I don't even have him around.
Right.
For me. And so then I found myself years later trying to come back to rebuild and to get back on track with God's plan, because it doesn't change. So yeah, don't be dismissive. Don't put him in the box. You ain't got to yell it from the rooftop, but stay true to yourself and keep God in your plans.
That's good. Yeah. And I would also say that just what I tell you guys all the time is, just live the life to be right. Because people will see that, and that will speak more volumes than you ever saying a word. So, because I got tons of examples, but people will see you do certain things, and then now they question why you don't do or why you do certain things.
Right.
That opens the door for you to share whatever it is God has for you to share to that person. Yeah. And that all just comes from you knowing who you are, and being comfortable in that too. So, because we are not of this world. So in some situations we are going to feel uncomfortable, and I don't want you to fall into the trap of, because you feel uncomfortable, you try to give in to make yourself fit in, because that's what a lot of times peer pressure comes in, and you end up doing something that's out of your character. The saying that says curiosity killed the cat. Well, curiosity also makes you do entertain stuff that's outside of your character. Right. So just don't be curious, of certain things. So just want to leave you guys with that. And then also, that was something else that I want to give you guys. It'll come back to me anyway. But yeah. So, just know who you are in God. Because, like you said, if you allow certain things to identify you, like you're an athlete, and if you let that identify you, when that thing leaves, it's like now you're gonna try to figure out, hey, who am I now? Right. Who am I now? Because some people they identify themselves by what they do or what they're good at, and it's just like, now when that thing is no longer there, it's like, now what am I? So now you start searching and trying to find out things that trying to find things that make up who you are or identify you. So now you have other things identify you instead of God do it. So
one last thing I would say: know that your network is still your network. While you guys may be away in college, we're still the network. The church, your leaders, your parents, your teachers, rely on them. Your network is in your networking. Don't forget all of those people. And so when you find yourself needing something, don't be afraid to tap into the resources that you have in your network to help you. So if it's a teacher back home, or you can't seem to get through to a particular teacher. Yeah, you're an adult and you want to handle it yourself, but maybe call another teacher, maybe reach out to your parents, find a church. Do not forget your network, because it'll help to build your net worth.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was going to say. So also, last thing I want to just leave y'all with this, kind of be self-conscious in a good way, meaning that be mindful of what you do. Because I remember, Dexter, I was telling y'all at the youth retreat, with the whole ketchup fight and stuff. I said, hey, listen, especially the older boys, you guys are at the age now to where certain decisions will now follow you for the rest of your life.
Right.
And so just be mindful of, now that you're, 18, 17, walking into adulthood, just be mindful of what you're doing and who's watching. So just want to leave you out with that, man. So that's all we got, man. So anybody else got anything else to say?
No.
If not, man, I appreciate y'all for getting on here.
Yes,
Dexter and Baby Jay, Brina and Taisha. So y'all have a good night. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. So. Peace out.
Peace.
Doses.